Explanation of fit and readability. There is a trade-off between fit rate and readability. In other words, optimizing the fit rate leads to a neglect of the reproducibility and/or reduction of the reproducibility. Strictly speaking, pop and then are inversely proportional. This is an example of a cat and a dog. Here is an example of a cat and a dog. In the validation, 30 cats and 40 dogs are correctly identified. The pip and then are reversed from the previous figure, but 20 dogs are recognized even though they are cats. The reproduction rate is 60. 10 cats are recognized as cats when they are actually dogs. The conformance rate will be 75. Mixed matrices are used when multiple correct answers from cross-validation are not sufficient. In other words, the mixture matrix compensates for cases where the percentage of correct answers alone is not enough to evaluate the model. Here is an example of number recognition. The number 5 has been learned and is about to be recognized. Note that it also recognizes numbers that are not 5. Here, 8, 9, 4, 2, and 7 are correctly determined not to be 5, and the algorithm correctly determines that 6 is actually 5, but right above. Bottom left, where the algorithm says it is not a 5, but it is in fact a 5, and bottom right. False positive is the upper right, and the lower left. Note that the placement of pop and then varies from figure to figure. In fact, let's calculate the fit and readability. The goodness of fit rate is related to false positives pep, and the reproducibility rate is related to false negatives n. For each of the numbers in the 4 areas of this row, note that pop and pep and then are uniquely assigned to each of these numbers. Now, as before, write the numbers in each of the 4 tables. Since the goodness of fit is calculated from the false negatives, in this case, we will focus on the number 6 for the one false negative. Therefore, the goodness of fit is 3 false. The reproducibility, on the other hand, is based on false positives, i.e., when we recognize that it is not 5 so. The 2 5s in the lower left of this table correspond to this. To summarize, let's mark each number with pop and pop, and then. In this case, since all the numbers are classified into one of the 4 cases, once you learn the procedure, you will be able to calculate automatically. If the right side of the red line on the right is recognized as 5, the left side is the case where you recognize not 5. Next, we will change the recognition thresholds for these numbers and/or. Let's compute the goodness of fit and readability rates. In the previous table, the thresholds were already set. First, let's separate them at 8, 7, 3, 9. The left side of the line is the number recognized as not 5. The right side of the line is the number recognized as being 5. In this case, all the not 5 recognized are correct, and right side of the line, 2 and 6 are incorrect and are false positives. The goodness of fit and reproducibility can be calculated. Next, we separate between the 2 5s slightly to the right. In this case, there are 2 5s to the left, and this is a case of mistakenly identifying it as not a 5. On the other hand, the false positive on the right side is 1/6. Calculate the goodness of fit and reproducibility. Finally, the third 5 from the right is separated by. This will eliminate the ups, false positives, but you will have 3 5s on the left side that you erroneously identified as not 5s. Similarly, we can calculate the fit and reability here, so there will be no ups, false positives.